Hi everyone, welcome back to the Wid Golf podcast. This is our second episode. Here with myself, Theo, half of the Wid Golf group, and Luke, our cameraman and better golfer of the three. We'll be chatting all things golf, football, dancing, golf current affairs, everything really, haven't we?
As much as we can, really, yeah. So I think we started off with, obviously you're a big footballer, play for Aldershot Town. What position are you playing?
I'm a centre midfielder.
Centre mid, nice.
Mhm.
Captain?
As and when needed. Yeah. That's not my main role, but I've stepped in there a few times. Yeah.
Nice. So what would you find, obviously this is a golf podcast, what would you find are the similarities between like golf and football?
The main reason, similarities, probably great fun, exercise, discipline, technique, the want to sort of improve each time you play both sports.
Yeah.
Obviously one's my job and one's my hobby, but for me similarities would definitely be the fun aspect for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, for us average golfers, I'd say you can sort of take a little bit of each sport and put it into golf, because technique is like, obviously it's one of the hardest sports to sort of perfect the technique. I'm not sure anyone ever really does perfect the technique. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
Okay, nice. I mean, from a footballer's perspective, because obviously there's quite a lot of footballers out there who play golf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the guys play on their downtime. Why do you think that is?
You said it there. We have a lot of downtime in football. So from, I'd say, the average sort of over the whole span of the football league and lower, the full-time teams, a lot of teams are normally done by sort of one-ish each day. So having said that, you've sort of either got, if you've not got a gym program to do in the afternoon, then your afternoon can sort of be spent not doing a lot of the time. And I think some people don't like that. You know, it's not great for the body to just be sat still. Obviously rest is important, but getting out on the golf course or even down to the range is just a nice sort of, I call it active recovery.
Yeah.
I use golf as like my active recovery on a Sunday. If I played a game on a Saturday, just getting out, having a brisk walk, swinging a club, as well as enjoying your golf, you feel like you're sort of just keeping on the move, keeping ticking over.
Yeah.
So that's how I use it in my spare time, and I think that's what a lot of footballers would say as well.
Yeah, nice. So when did you start playing football?
Started playing football from as early as I can remember. Obviously, Dad played a huge part in that, and then
Because your dad's manager of Aldershot, right?
he's the manager at Aldershot, yeah. Previously played before going into managing, but funnily enough, I probably got into football because of Kai.
Okay.
Which is strange now that he doesn't play football. But I think it was one time we used to live in Stoke.
Yeah.
Bit of a story time here. We used to live in Stoke, and he was playing for Port Vale's academy at the time. And then we moved to Southampton because Dad had changed jobs down south. So we moved back to sort of where the family home was in Southampton. And he was picked up by Portsmouth. And they saw me kicking a ball about on the side of the pitch when Kai was playing in the academy.
Yeah.
I think I was 6. And fast forward sort of 2-3 months, I was signed to the academy and stayed there till I was 19. So 6 was when I started sort of in the academy and taking football really seriously, was when it started at 6.
And when did you start playing golf?
I reckon the first time I probably would have picked a golf club up would have been around 8 or 9.
Okay.
Maybe.
So quite similar then.
Yeah. Obviously we never really played too much when we were that age, but I think like with anyone, once you get the bug for golf, it sort of never leaves you. No matter how long you spend not playing, once you get back, you have that sort of urge for the first couple of weeks or even months to be like, when are we next going out on the course?
For sure. It's that one shot you hit and you just...
That's it. It keeps you coming back.
That one shot just makes you just want to come back the next... Even if you've had a really bad round, that one shot just makes you just turn around and just want to come back.
That happens a lot as well. Yeah. The really bad rounds, one shot, that's all it takes. It reels you back in.
It really, really does. So, like, what's been your journey within football? Because obviously you started when you were 6. That's when you got joined to the Portsmouth Academy.
Yep.
So what's got you from there to where you are now?
Combination of a lot of things, really. I think the academy sort of structure is tough, like to stay in. I know a lot of people who end up not enjoying being in academies because there is pressure. Like you're fighting for contracts each season,
Of course.
and they make it quite clear to you, even at a young age, that like no matter how long you stay here, no one can guarantee you that you're going to become a professional footballer.
Sure.
So that sort of takes over your life at a young age. When I got to sort of 14, 15 and school studies started to become obviously a big thing when you get to sort of year 9, 10 and you're looking at doing your GCSEs, I sort of struggled in the school area, and really all I could really care about at the time and focus on was my football.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully I did, because I did earn my first professional contract at Portsmouth when I turned 17 or 18. So that was that. Then I left Portsmouth at 19, I think it was 19, signed for 2 years at Bristol Rovers.
Mm-hmm.
So that was sort of the first time living away from the area that I grew up in. So I had to move away down to Bristol, sort of 2 hours away from home, which is a bit of a culture shock to you as a young lad. Like at 16, I moved out of home because we had to live in digs.
Yeah.
But 18 was sort of moving away. And that was different. And then COVID struck, and I think football for young lads sort of changed then, because it was like that summer there was no football.
Mm-hmm.
Leading into sort of summer through to Christmas, sort of all the football got cancelled and this, that and the other, and I found myself wanting to have a sort of slightly different challenge where I was 17, 18, sort of trying to break through.
Mm-hmm.
I took it sort of upon myself to say I really want to play men's football now, first team football, so dropped down into the non-league sort of scene, and playing full-time in non-league and starting regularly was sort of made me fall back in love with football, which is why I wanted to stay in the academy for so long. It gives you that purpose of playing every week.
Yeah. So you mentioned about like not being able to play football during COVID and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that was, I'm sure a lot of podcasts talk about it when that happened. But how did you find that affected you mentally? Did you struggle during that time not being able to play, or was it like a nice break? Or
at the time I probably struggled with it a bit because you're not in your daily routine. But I think it might be for everyone. You tell us in the comments, because I know a lot of people that really enjoyed the first lockdown. Myself and Kai lived together for that first lockdown, and we spent every day, when we could, obviously with the exercise stuff, running for an hour a day.
Yeah.
Trying to get a 5k best time, a 10k best time,
Nice.
sort of thing, like everyone did.
Yeah.
Strava was on the up.
Yeah.
So we sort of spent that really trying to better ourselves in between the pub quizzes on Zoom,
Of course.
and a few beers here and there. But yeah, I actually quite enjoyed it. We found it a way to try and get ourselves in good nick. It struggled without football, yeah, kind of, because football's my life.
Yeah.
But it was a welcome break from it, and it was a sort of an eye-opener as to, there's other things in life. And you find other things to enjoy as well, like running. I would never normally go out for a run because I run at football. I started to love running. So
obviously golf, if realistically, in my opinion, I think COVID was great for golf because it was the only sport people could really do.
Yeah.
So that's where I found that's where a lot of people discovered the sport. And I think that's why now a lot of golf clubs have their memberships have got a couple of years waiting lists now.
Yeah.
You can't get into a golf club straight away anymore.
Well, that's something we were going to talk about, but we can fast forward it a bit. We had, what do we think sort of really accelerated the sort of the global thing on golf? YouTube, TikTok. I think lockdown was big for that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Even just social media as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I found there's certain people I know who started their Instagram accounts during lockdown, and they're now some of the biggest people within golf.
For sure.
Perfect example from memory. I'm pretty sure Mia Baker started. She started playing golf during COVID.
She's flying, right?
And she's absolutely flying. Look at her now.
No,
I know she's just signed with Jay Lindeberg. She was with Adidas she was a big contract with Adidas for a little while.
Yeah.
I did a shoot with her up in Scotland for Adidas. Yeah, and she started during COVID.
Yeah, but yeah, like you say, it all sort of a lot of stuff started trends, TikToks, whatever it is, started in lockdown. A lot of people have sort of really hopped on that train and have flown with it, and it's really doing quite well.
I remember I was doing during COVID. Obviously, during COVID, you couldn't go out, so all my practice, and this is at the time where I was addicted. I was still addicted to golf, right? I was in the garden. I was doing doing different challenges to be able to practice. I ordered about 10 buckets, 10 like bright orange buckets.
The soft balls.
And no, I was using real balls in the garden.
Balls, okay.
So I was putting these buckets all in different parts of the garden. I had a mat, like a artificial mat, which I was hitting from, so I didn't ruin the grass. And I was just trying to hit into each bucket, and I wouldn't move on to the next bucket until I'd hold the one I was going for. I got pretty good at it in the end. My shot when we got back to playing on the golf course, my short game was mint.
Yeah, I was going to say short game specialist by the end of lockdown.
And I had another challenge where I had a ladder. I had the ladder that was up, and I had to go through each section of the ladder. And this one was hard because if I missed one, I had to go back to the beginning.
Okay.
And so I had to get to each ladder and then go all the way back down again.
Christ.
And I wouldn't stop until I'd got all the way up and all the way down.
Yeah, see, my focus just wouldn't have. No.
This is when I was back addicted to golf. Like
I'd have been, if I was filming, I'd have been edit. Yeah.
But it was great. Like for me practicing, I also built I built my own net because they were booming booming everywhere because everyone was practicing at home, so you couldn't buy a net online.
No.
So I built my own net out of a mattress cover, a duvet cover, and a curtain. I wrapped it around like an old. So when I was younger, me and my brother used to play football, and we had a full size goal that we could just pack up into a bag.
Okay.
And I used that. I cut down the middle and just so it made it narrower, and I used that to put the mattress cover over the top. And that was my net. And what I did, because I had a little launch monitor, I had a little GC, I think it was GC2 at the time or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And I collect course guides from different golf courses that I play at.
Nice.
And what I was doing, I had a little notebook, had a course guide, and I was using my launch monitor to practice different yardages and pretending I was playing each hole.
Oh, nice.
So I was playing Birkdale, for example. Say I can't remember the specifics of how long the first hole. Say it was 372, for example. Say it was just, don't know how that number's come to my head, but that's what I'm going with. I hit a driver off the tee. Say I hit like a 270 drive. I would then take that off the yardage of the hole, so I had 102 left into the flag.
Right. Okay.
I would then hit a wedge to 102, and depending on how close I am to that number is whether I get par, bogey, birdie.
So it's kind of Trackman without Trackman.
Yeah. Exactly.
Garden Trackman.
So that was how I practiced during COVID.
With a mattress cover.
Yeah. So when I came back to playing golf normally...
That is ultimate creativity.
Yeah. My yardages were bang on. My short game was money. Oh. So I was well practiced going back into normal golf.
Who needs the range?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Have I done it since? No.
No. That is... I mean, you did have to get quite creative.
You had to. You had to. But yeah, I just found this... Then I was documenting that through social media.
Oh, nice. So that's what I mean. People found little sort of nuances to do, and it just became popular, didn't it? I think that's where if I look back and think, where did I start really watching golf?
Yeah.
It would have been in lockdown. It would have been TikToks.
Yeah.
Obviously Rick Shields was booming back then as well. He sort of really got big in TikTok. So that was like where I probably first started watching either YouTube videos or TikToks or Reels or anything like that. That was where it started for me in terms of watching golf.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, your creativity is going to take some beating there.
If anyone had any other like golf lockdown practices that they were doing, please let us know because I'm really intrigued to see what other people did.
Yeah. I'm not sure they're anywhere close to what you've done, but that's quite impressive.
I think that explains how much of an addict I was to golf. So, obviously the YouTube's now live. Mm-hmm. Our channel is not your guys' channel. That's not our channel. It's your channel.
It's our channel.
I just produce it as well. But anyway, first video was obviously Justin Rose, which is extremely exciting.
Yeah.
Like I said to Kai in our first podcast, I didn't expect that to be our first video.
No.
Like how good of a guest that was for our first video. What was we've heard in the last podcast, we heard Kai's outlook on that day.
Mm-hmm.
What was your outlook on that day?
Just unfathomable. It was crazy. I think what I took away from it the most the whole day was his level of detail. Little things on the golf course that you pick up tips off of people you play with, and when you go to the range, you find little things that sort of that helps you individually. But watching sort of him in his sort of natural setting per se was like, the level of detail there is like Premier League level of detail in football.
Of course.
Obviously, we do analysis of football, right? So on a Friday, we'll watch the opposing team. We'll see their weaknesses, their strengths, blah, blah, blah. He's effectively, every week on tour or whatever, competing not only against everyone, but he's trying to perfect what he's doing himself, right? So little things, I couldn't understand why he kept looking at the sky.
Yeah.
And I was like, nudging Kai, I was going, why does he keep looking? Clouds are moving this way, clouds are moving that way. And I was like, he's taking in every single aspect of what can go wrong with this shot, what he needs to do, what he needs to play.
Yeah.
Before, I don't take much time on a practice swing. He's sort of just the detail. That is the main word and the main thing that I took out of the day was seeing him at his level is frightening.
Yeah. So what have you found? So I think it's a similar question, but what was the biggest takeaway for you that you've learned that you're going to use going forwards?
I'm a notorious overdrawer of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So he had just two little things for me, and he said, "Don't make huge changes to your swing," which was quite a nice compliment to take away from the day. He said, "You've got a nice swing. What would probably help me is to be able to turn through the ball a little bit more." And just two things he had me do was stand a tiny bit closer to the ball, narrow off my feet a little bit, and each day since playing with him, just bringing that into play a little bit it hasn't improved me massively, but it has improved me, and I think that's what we're all looking for in golf. Like always just minimal improvement. So you're not going to get amazing straight away. That's why we are what we are as golfers.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely something I took away from it.
Yeah. Let's go into questions from Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So you put a story up this morning.
I did.
Asking people to get questions. For future, put some in the comments and we'll try and answer them in the next video.
Mm-hmm.
But going for it, you're gonna answer some questions from Instagram. We got it out eventually. So first one, my guess is this is from your sister.
This is from my little sister, yeah.
When's Theo coming on the channel?
She can come on whenever she wants.
Whenever you want.
She is welcome whenever she wants, yeah.
Second question is, can you dance as well as Kai?
Not as well as Kai. I can dance. I did all my badges growing up, so I had all the certificates.
Okay.
I think I had one competition when I was younger. I think I was 9 or 10. It was like the kind of like a pro-am kind of thing. So I danced with our dance teacher but it was against other people from other dance schools as well. I think I finished 4th or 5th.
Nice.
I think I was about 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed dancing. I can still dance, but I don't dance, if that makes sense.
Sure.
At a wedding, when something Michael Jackson or Marvin Gaye or something like that comes on, I might whack.
You're kind of very similar in that aspect then.
Yeah.
So within football and golf, who are your idols?
Ooh, wow. I don't want to be too generic.
You can be generic. If they're your idols, they're your idols, aren't they?
Okay, golf has to be Tiger.
Okay.
I just think I was sort of, or we kind of, you're a couple of years older than me. You may not, it doesn't look it, I know.
I've had a good paper round.
But we were kind of the last era of seeing how good he really was. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Obviously, he's still amazing.
Yeah.
and I watched the PNC the other week with him and Charlie, and he looks like he's going to be some player as well.
Yeah.
But just for growing up, I think when I was a kid, if someone was to, when you go in the garden and say, I'm going to be him tonight, I'm going to be Tiger for sure in golf. Although close second would probably be Fleetwood. I love his swing.
He's my favourite player.
Right. Well, I modelled my long hair a couple of years ago off of him.
So, story about Tommy. I was shooting out in Dubai, I think it was a couple of years ago now, and I was walking down the range at the Desert Classic. Never met the guy before, never met him. We crossed paths on the range at Emirates Golf Club. Looked up, locked eyes. I'm like, he has no idea who I am. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to be polite and smile. And he just looked up at me. He was like, how you doing, pal?
It's class.
I'm like, he did not have to do that.
It's class.
It's just those little things that make you realise that these guys, they're just normal
people.
And like, he's just one of the... I've still never met him personally. I've never had a chat with him because I'm not one of those to like fanboy over people, right? Course. It's one of those where it just makes you realise he's just a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah, normal people, mate. That's what it is. Sports people are just normal people.
Literally.
Which a lot of people don't realise. Heroes. Because they're people's heroes, but they are just normal people.
Yeah.
Football, idol. Really weird. I never really had one growing up because I used to watch my dad on a Saturday. Yeah. So I didn't really sit at home and watch football when I was younger. My dad was still playing, so we used to go and watch him. Yeah. But if I was to say as a kid who I would wanted to have been like, probably maybe Steven Gerrard, Paul Scholes. Yeah. Being at Portsmouth, there was a guy called Pedro Mendes at the time. And we talk about Tommy Fleetwood's hair. This guy had a head of hair, right? And I signed when I was 6, and we had a tour around the first team training ground at the time, and we had a ball to sign, get all the lads to sign, and everyone got like a pair of boots off of their favourite player or this, that and the other. I got a pair of Nike socks off of Pedro Mendes that he'd just worn in training. And I was like, gutted, mate. Everyone got like these Premier League players' boots. Yeah. And I got a pair of Nike socks. I actually think I've still got them somewhere.
Still wears them every week.
Yeah, and they haven't been washed. Yeah, I've got them on now. But yeah, I've probably got 3 of them. So like, he was like, because I was playing for Portsmouth, he was my guy, Pedro Mendes. He was the guy that I sort of watched at Portsmouth, but Gerrard and Scholes.
Yeah, nice. Love that. Oh, I like this one. So how competitive are you and Kai at golf, and who's the better player?
Okay, so I would say I'm the least competitive out of both of us outside of football. Okay. So football, I'm mad competitive. Yeah. Like, I really want to win.
Which makes sense.
But outside of it, I'm so social with golf, which I think plays to my advantage when I play Kai. Okay. Because I think Kai worries about beating me so much, he never does.
So he's never beaten you?
No, has he not told you about when we played at Royal Mid-Surrey?
Go on, spill the beans.
Okay, so
for the world to hear.
Okay. Kai's going to be fuming. So
we won't tell him about this until we post it.
You know, he came off of like quite a heavy work schedule. Yeah. And he said to me, mate, I am dying to play some golf. I was like, okay, cool. Let's find a course near us. Geographically, that it worked for both of us. So we met at Royal Mid-Surrey. We'd both never played the course before. And we tee off, and just put it this way. I won 18 holes out of the 18.
Did you really?
Yeah, he threatened to walk off the course at 14, and I had to keep him on. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I wasn't even playing that well. So, look, he's been better since then, and he's actually a better golfer than me, is what the follow-up question was. Okay. He is a better golfer than me. I think his handicap's currently about 9, is it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm off about between 11 and 12, I think.
Still solid.
It's been solid. I've actually really improved the last 3-4 months.
Yeah.
But
hopefully that lesson I gave you earlier had helped.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Trying to hit some different shot shapes now, so we'll see.
Nice. Okay, so next question is, we've answered that earlier, was how long you've been playing golf for. We answered that earlier. You said 8, since you're 8. How old are you now?
I'm 25.
25.
Yeah, 26 soon.
So that is 17 years. Quick maths.
Yeah.
Okay, current handicap, just answer that as well. Okay, so if you could play any golf course in the world for the rest of your life, which course would it be?
One that I've already played.
Any golf course in the world.
Oh gosh, I'm going to be generic again.
You're going to say Augusta?
Yeah. I mean,
Augusta.
if it's not on your bucket list,
Yeah.
then who are you?
I feel like that golf course you just couldn't get bored around. The only potential
I don't think it'd be fun though.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Because it's so hard, would you not just get frustrated with golf and start hating it?
I saw a pundit on the last Masters say that if the average 18 handicapper started at the furthest point away of the greens,
Yeah,
and the pros started on the tee box, the pros would still beat you.
I agree.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
That is mental.
So that's my only concern with saying there is because of how difficult it is. Would you not start hate? I need to be playing on a phenomenal golf course and it's completely immaculate. But would you not just get severely frustrated with golf and start disliking it? Would you not rather play somewhere that gives you the opportunity to have a good score? So then you've got that competitive element.
Okay, close second would probably be Pebble Beach then.
Nice.
I mean, just surrounding.
Have you ever been
beautiful. There? No.
Oh, mate, it's gorgeous. I've never played it.
Yeah.
But I've been there and I've walked the 18th hole down the fairway and it's just stunning.
It's my go-to on the Trackman range.
It's one of those that is I'm going to put it similar to St Andrews kind of vibe when you get there.
Oh, nice.
You just get there and it's like,
so it's got a bit of history to it.
Oh yeah. And you just get there and it's like, oh my Lord, what is this? Like this place, I'm getting shit, like I've got goosebumps.
That's
literally
crazy.
Just thinking about Pebble Beach.
Wow. That'd have been a nice little zoom then.
It would have, wouldn't it?
You actually have goosebumps.
Yeah, literally got goosebumps just thinking about Pebble, like walking down Pebble Beach.
It is a bit cold, isn't it? It's not. It's baking,
I'm
isn't
sweating. But yeah, that place is stunning. I wish I played it while I was there, but we just didn't have the chance, didn't have time. I'd love to go back and play there. It would just be phenomenal.
Right. I'm going to hit that back to you.
Go on.
What would yours be?
Royal County Down.
Yeah. Okay.
Love links golf.
So you like UK golf as well, don't you?
UK golf is really, really, really nice. One of my, so my favourite golf course I've ever played is Classic Club in Palm Desert.
Okay.
Phenomenal golf course this was. Right. So I played there with my dad in, I can't remember what year it was. I want to say 2017, but that might be wrong. So when we played there, I had a higher set of clubs, and I said to Dad, I was like, I really want to play this off the tips. So play it off the blacks, all the way at the back, played 7,200 yards or something like that, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's around that. And the guys in the pro shop were like, we probably wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to, like, crack on, like, it's yours. Tees weren't even out for it. They were like, go on if you want to. You're the only people on the golf course. Was empty. Nobody on the golf course. The black tees were just immaculate. When I say
I love a nice tee
you're
box.
hitting off carpets.
Yeah, I love a nice tee box.
When I got the driver out the bag on the first, had a look at the driver. They gave me a regular shaft driver.
Okay.
I use extra stiff.
Tricky.
So I'm like, I literally can't use this golf club.
Tricky.
Then I looked at the three wood with stiff, so that was good. And it was a strong lofted 3 wood. It was like a 13-degree 3 wood, so it was all right. So I just used that the whole way around. I was through 5 holes. I was 3 under par.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I ended up beating Dad 7 and 6 around the golf course. We got onto one of the tees, and we had to go quite a way back to get to the 10th. Get to the blacks, sorry. And obviously out in America, you've got like cart girls going around, and she was driving around. She almost drove straight past us. She turned around because she didn't look back at the blacks because apparently
no one's playing.
She was like, I've never seen anybody play off those tees, and I've been here for 6 months.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, ended up the golf course was just absolutely phenomenal.
So that'd be your one.
Surrounded by mountains.
Oh, nice.
Surrounded by mountains in a desert. The golf course was pure. That's my favourite golf course I've ever played, but I've never played County Down.
Okay.
That's ranked as the best golf course in the world.
So we've both given a 1 and a close second.
Yeah,
there, really.
I'd say it's one of those 2 for me.
Nice.
In the UK, obviously County Down is obviously the top there, but I could play Birkdale every week.
Okay, Kai said that was amazing.
It's phenomenal. It is probably in the UK. It's my favourite golf course I've played.
Really, I've not really ventured up north to
Have you
play
not?
golf. No, I've played in Newcastle
Yeah.
with family.
Mm-hmm. Southport's got some phenomenal golf courses. Literally on that strip, you've got Hillside, Southport, and Ainsdale, and Birkdale, all within walking distance.
I bet the weather plays a huge part in all of those as well.
Yeah, I've been very lucky, to be fair, when I've played up there. So I played Northwest Links up there, which is 36 on Birkdale, 36 at Hillside, day after each other. Luckily, every time I played Birkdale, it's been decent weather. But the last time I played it, the second day was at Hillside, and the second round, oh my lord, 30-mile-an-hour winds, sideways, in rain as well.
And I'm the range today.
Yeah, literally was like the range today. And I just, it was so hard to keep that ball going straight. So I think when I finished, somebody told me that I was leading with 9 holes to play. In a world ranking event, and just that last 9 holes at Hillside, if anyone's played it, it is brutal, man.
Oh gosh.
Some of the tightest fairways I've played.
Really?
But they're just phenomenal.
That's
I think one of the 3-woods, one of the par 3s, I just had to hit 3-wood and didn't even reach the front of the green.
Yeah, that sounds tricky.
Yeah, but it was great though.
I'm not sure how myself and Kai would get around there.
I'm not really selling the golf course, but I tell you what, it was phenomenal. It was a great golf course. Okay, right. What's the next one? Your dream 4-ball.
Oh, dream 4-ball. Right, I quite like listening to music when I'm playing golf, so I'm going to get a singer in there.
All right.
I'm going to go for Luke Combs.
Oh, country. Love a bit of country.
This last sort of 18 months, I've been banging to my country. So Luke Combs just there with a little, just in the background.
Yeah, nice.
I'm sure he plays golf because in one of his songs, he talks about playing golf, winning a scratch card, something, and playing a round of golf. So he actually might be able to get around with us too.
Should we get him on the channel?
I mean, that actually might
imagine?
be like end of for me because we actually look quite similar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got a selfie on like a montage on my thing. We actually look quite similar.
It's at this point I will put on the screen. You will see side by side image of one of Theo, one of Luke Combs.
See it similar. Luke Combs. I would stick in Cristiano Ronaldo.
Nice. Yeah.
He's my goat. And I don't want any Messi Ronaldo comments about that because I'm not going to talk about it. Tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger has to play in there.
And then you.
And me.
Love that.
Yeah. And you can caddy for me.
Yeah, sold. Fine. We'll try and get you to break 80 again.
Yeah, nice.
Sounds like a plan. Cool. Last one is literally one or the other. So it's literally football or golf.
Oh, wow. Football is my number one.
Yeah.
But I separate football and golf so much
that
they're both number one things in my life.
Okay.
So like football is my work and golf is my main hobby.
Yeah.
So I love golf that much off of how much I love football.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love football for the competitive side and I love golf because of how fun it is for me.
Would you ever try and get competitive in golf, like play tournaments and stuff?
Do you know what? That is something I was talking to one of my mates at football the other day. It's something I'd actually probably enjoy because I think that would switch on a competitive side to me in golf. Yeah. I don't know how good that would be for me because
how do you think you'd cope with the nerve side of it? Because obviously, so tournament golf is so different from general golf. Like when you're on a good score coming down the stretch in general play, it's if you've got a good score, you're nerve-wracking, right?
Yeah.
But when you've got a good score coming down the stretch and you've got a chance of winning a tournament, that's another level. How do you think you'd cope with that?
Well, do you know what? I think someone actually said to me, why do you love golf so much? And I was like, first of all, because there's no refs telling me what to do.
There are in tournament golf.
There are refs. but there's no one giving me yellow cards every 2 minutes and stuff like that. But I think...
Just shot penalties.
Yeah. But do you know what? It would be interesting. It would be interesting because, like I said, I'm uber competitive in football. So even in training, when we do a small-sided game, my head will go if we lose. Yeah. So maybe if I was in a tournament setting in golf, that might switch on something that I've not had on a golf course before. Obviously, when we go on holiday and play for 20 quid here and there. or the first round of drinks afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That gets me the competitive juices flowing
nice.
a little bit, but it'd be interesting. Maybe that's something we could do.
Absolutely.
Something we could do.
Could maybe like put you and Kai in a tournament and film it.
Yeah, that's food for thought, for sure.
Most definitely. Right, okay. Next part, we're going to do Would You Rather. One or the other.
Quick fire.
Very quick fire.
Okay.
Literally first thing you think of when I ask the question.
Hit me with it.
Right? Links or parkland golf?
Parkland.
Early morning or twilight golf?
Early morning.
Match play or stroke play?
Match play.
Bombing a drive or sinking a long putt?
Long putt. I'm useless with a driver.
So really? So even if you like rip to drive,
Yeah.
you'd prefer to sink a long putt?
Yeah.
Interesting. Walking the golf course or riding in a buggy?
Buggy.
Nice. Playing it safe or going for the hero shot?
I'm so safe.
Oh yeah.
I'm so safe. Do you know what? I'm safe. Anything over sort of 200 yards, anything in, I'll go for the pin. Yeah.
All right. Nice. Okay. Well, there's the quick fires. That was nice and very rapid.
Yeah, and there's a question we had for you actually. So,
Okay.
kind of like a PGA / versus live golf.
Yep.
Recently, Tyrrell Hatton winning in Dubai last week.
Yep.
What's your thoughts sort of on the live tour compared to the PGA tour? How do you see it?
See, it's not going anywhere, right? It's not going to disappear anytime soon. I've been lucky enough to go to both. I've been lucky enough to go to I haven't been to a PGA Tour event. I've been to many DP World Tour events, and I've been to a couple of live events. I really enjoyed going to the live events.
Okay.
The atmosphere is
Quite party-like, right?
There's a very party-like. So there's music in every corner.
Okay.
So wherever you walk, there's music playing. There's speakers all around the golf course. So I went to the one at JCB last year, and the atmosphere was great, man.
Do you think the players like it? Like the idea of the music and
yeah,
because that could be quite off-putting for some people.
Yeah, but I think they signed up for that when they went though, because they knew that was what it was going to be like. I found the players so much more relaxed.
Okay.
So a perfect example was at JCB. So there was a Majestics pub they built. They'd literally built a pub by one of the greens for the Majestics, which is obviously Ian Poulter's team. And in front of this pub was one of the par 3 greens, and Poulter had I'm pretty sure it was an 8-foot putt or something like that.
Excuse me.
As he hit this putt, as soon as he hit this putt, he looked back at the Majestic pub.
Just gone off.
He the putt went in as he was looking back at the Majestic pub.
Oh, right.
He just erupted.
Yeah,
Like,
see, that's...
That you don't get that at DP World Tour events. But on the other hand, the trying to think of the word, the history and the legacy of the DP World Tour and PGA Tour is never going to get rivaled by Liv.
No.
That's the difference, I think.
Yeah, they're iconic, aren't they?
Yeah, I love and I get excited watching DP World Tour events like the BMW at Wentworth. I'll get excited on the Sunday.
I mean, it's a great week, isn't it?
Yeah, did you go to that this year?
Yeah,
Last year, sorry, you
yeah.
did. Yeah. You went with Kai, right?
Yeah, got the T-shirt as well.
There you go. Been there, got the T-shirt. I don't think Liv can rival that feeling.
No.
But the atmosphere at a Liv event is so much more relaxed.
Which I think is what's getting more people who weren't into golf.
For sure.
Because I think golf can be looked at as quite old. Some people would even say snobby.
Yeah.
But I think Liv will sort of encourage younger people.
I agree.
With the music, with the more relaxed sort of state that it is. Whereas I think even going to Wentworth, that's a little bit more relaxed, but you still feel like you should be dressed up. You still feel like you should, like you're quiet when everyone's taking a shot. Like that should just be, for me, normal golf etiquette.
For sure.
And I love the idea of dressing smart to play golf.
Yep.
And the no golf shoes in clubhouses and all that sort of stuff. That should stay, and it teaches good etiquette.
For sure.
But I'm just kind of on the fence with it, you know, because and also because so many players that I've liked in the last few years have gone to Liv.
Yeah.
It does make me sort of tune into both.
For sure.
But I think it's interesting.
One thing I've noticed was at the Liv events, there's a lot of people there who aren't golfers. So it's bringing in people who wouldn't normally watch the game. Admittedly, they're there to get pissed, right?
Yeah.
They're there to drink. They're there for the party hole.
Yeah.
So like at JCB, the party hole's mental.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was so many people that any part of that hole, it was surrounded by 5 deep.
Plastic pint glasses going everywhere.
Everywhere. But that's what gets, in my opinion, I think that's what's getting the non-golfers into golf.
Yeah.
Is that's the appeal.
It's building
And
traction for sure.
Even if, like, I don't know, 10% of those people who have gone to that pick up the game, it's a positive.
Yeah.
Whereas I think a lot of the times at somewhere like a DP event, I think they're struggling in the fact of getting more people into it. I think that's why they're trying to do this, like the TGL League.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a interesting format, in my opinion. I've tried watching it, and this might be controversial. I could only manage half an hour. My attention span just switched off, personally. I want to try. I'm going to try again. See how to try and watch it again. But I think they need very specific people on that to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, it's about watching. The content is what makes it, isn't it? Like the golf. Like everyone's there, give or take, to watch good golf.
Yeah.
And you're going to get both on both tours, aren't you? So it'd be interesting. I mean, I've been to a PGA event. I would like to go to a live event, see what it's like.
I think it might be going back to JCB this year.
Really?
I think.
It could be a golf trip there, maybe.
Literally, yeah. I think I know there's a. I know there definitely is another UK event this year, which would be really good.
So again, to look forward to then. Hey, we're planning the diary whilst on the pod.
Literally.
Nice.
One thing I did like about the TGL league format, well, not even just the format, but seeing Tiger playing it and how relaxed he was, and you could just see how much he was loving it.
He loved it, mate.
Like, do you see him coming out? Literally came out the tunnel.
Yeah.
And he just looked so happy.
He's got some aura about him.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
When he walks in the room, you know it's him.
Yeah.
Like
you don't need to turn around. You need to turn around. You just know it's Tiger Woods.
Especially when he's got his red on. How good does he look in his red?
Yeah. I can't remember who specifically I was talking to, but they were saying they used to play on tour. This guy, back in the day when Tiger in his prime, and he was playing in this event, and he was on the driving range hitting balls. Not many people watching because people didn't really know who he was. He was hitting balls, and then all of a sudden there was a big crowd, and he was like, "Oh, these people here to watch me." I'm like, he's just there hitting balls, like in front of this massive crowd. Amazing. And he just hears a shot from behind him. Turns around, Tiger's hitting golf balls behind him.
Cheers.
I'm like, wow! Imagine that feeling. Yeah. You're on the range, like, and you've got a massive crowd. You turn around and Tiger's there hitting striping balls behind you.
No one was even looking.
What would you do? What would you do?
Oh.
I'm just like, class.
I'd stop and turn and watch.
Just turn and watch. Start playing golf left-handed.
I mean, that's it.
But yeah, class. So, big question. What's next for Wid Golf?
Well, we've got a few exciting things coming up in the pipeline. A few special guests. Hopefully going to get a couple special guests on the pod too. But we've definitely got some ready to get filming with the on-course stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned for that for sure.
We've got a very exciting one which we're filming on the 4th of March.
4th of March.
Yeah. Hopefully the weather's okay, so hopefully we can get that filmed and done. But yeah, that one will be very exciting.
Yeah, and we've also got we've got a couple people coming on that is going to be a bit of a rematch in some. I'm not going to let too much away, but that's what I'm going to say.
There's a little teaser right there.
Yeah, it's a teaser. It's going to be a rematch.
Yeah.
So if anyone can clock onto that, I don't know if they will.
They might.
Let's see. But that's your teaser.
Yeah, love that. Cool. I think we're all good there.
Ledge. Enjoyed
Ideal.
that.
Yeah, sick.
I've got sweaty hands.
Yeah, so
fist
we'll
pump.
go fist pump. Right, cheers guys.
Like, subscribe, comments down below, questions, what you want to hear on the next podcast, guests that you want us to potentially try and get. Anything else?
think that's everything. Yeah, just pop your comments down below with questions for the future podcasts, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
Ciao, ciao.